Hey folks, Ray Bessette of raybessette.com coming at you again. Today's topic is on blood test. Not like your typical annual blood test that you have from your doctor. This is one to really discover preventable diseases or conditions. We have found that most people have or struggle with their fitness goals because they have issues like too much sugar or insulin in their blood. When you have insulin in your blood, it's physiologically impossible to lose weight no matter what you do. And a lot of people are pre-diabetic and don't even know it. So when they go to the gym or their doctor tells them to diet and exercise, which is really basic, it must be in their protocol that they say, because every doctor says you need to diet and exercise. Most people, when they hear that diet and exercise, they think about eating salads and getting on a treadmill. Well, let's think about it. Who eats salads? Well, rabbits eat salads. They don't look very lean to me. In fact, they're kind of big. And people that get in on a treadmill, well, how about hamsters? They go around on a wheel. That's like a treadmill. They're not very lean either. So both animals are pretty fat. So that's not working for them. They're mammals, and so aren't we. Getting back to the insulin and the blood sugar, when those are high, all you're doing is burning sugar anyway when you're doing cardio. Now, I'm not knocking cardio. Cardio has its place, but for fat loss, permanent fat loss, it's not the biggest bang for the buck. It's weight training. But I'm not here to talk about weight training right now. I like to start from the inside out. I like to see what's going on the inside. We talked a little bit about diet. Today, we're going to talk about actually getting a blood test done. Now, what I'm going to be doing is just showing you some of the blood panels meaning like A1C. A1C is a marker for glucose or sugar in your blood, average for a 3-month period. Most doctors don't do this A1C as the standard protocol. They have to wait till you have a glucose, which is sugar, reading of over 99 or 100 for a period of or 2 visits. So it could be 6 months, it could be a year. So you could be getting even heavier as you're waiting to see if you're qualified by the insurance companies to get an A1C test. A1C determines if you're pre-diabetic or diabetic or insulin resistant. Now we go one step further, and we actually, I'll show you our blood panel right here. It's a very comprehensive list of blood panels. Now there's a male and a female. This same panel right here, I went to LabQuest and went in with no insurance, because I know that these are not covered, but most of these are not covered by insurance. I went in to LabCorp, I'm not LabCorp, but Quest, and just gave them this blood panel, and they asked me to sit down. I said, well, of course I'm going to sit down. You're going to draw my blood. She says, no, sit down, because I'm going to tell you what the price is. The price was $1,700, $1,748. And right now, for the month of September, I'm going to do this blood panel test for $498. That doesn't include the doctor. That comes with my interpretation of the blood test. Okay, it's not a Western medical protocol. It is from my years of or hundreds of blood panels and years of experience. And a lot of these blood panels or conditions, health issues, can be repaired or fixed or by using supplements, medical grade or pharmaceutical grade supplements. So there's no need for medications. Free testosterone and total testosterone. A lot of doctors only do total testosterone. That means really nothing. That means if you have 1,000, which is really good, by the way, of testosterone, and your free testosterone is only 17, that means it's like having $1,000 in the bank and only being able to take out $17 at a time. That means something's bound into that testosterone and it's not making it bioavailable. So that test is not good. I can explain all that in the lab review when the results get back. We test for cortisol. Cortisol is one of the number one reasons why doctors diagnose a bad thyroid. Most organs don't really go bad. It's usually caused by another condition. Okay, and what I'm saying here, I'm not a licensed physician, biochemist, or any of those licensed practitioners. However, with my experience in the health and fitness industry, I can tell you from a health and fitness point of view, what we can present to a doctor or what you can present to your doctor, because they're not going to run all this. They can't. The insurance companies won't allow them. Even if you say you're going to pay for it, they won't allow it. Okay? So, and most doctors. I've only had one in 15 years where a doctor actually did everything on here. One. And I almost dropped my teeth. Okay, so also we check for estradiol in men too. It's a woman hormone, but men need it for cardiovascular protection and other things. DHEA, and that sometimes is on a regular blood test, but that's a precursor for testosterone. So it'll up your own natural testosterone if your free and total testosterone are good or borderline. We look at your TSH, which is a thyroid stimulating hormone, comes from hypothalamus. Then you've got your T3, T4, that's your thyroid, and reverse T3. So how it works is your hypothalamus tells the pituitary gland to secrete thyroid, goes to your gland in your neck, goes to your liver in the form of T. It's stored as T4, that's thyroid. T is standing for thyroid, and the 4 is 4 molecules of iodine. And sometimes a supplement, an iodine supplement, will actually help a sluggish thyroid. And by the way, if your cortisol is high, more than likely your thyroid is going to be sluggish. Okay, so by correcting your cortisol, we can do that with supplements too, like Rotagonda, natural holistic supplements. We can drop or lower your cholesterol. It'll raise your thyroid function. The T3 is the active thyroid, T meaning thyroid again, and 3 meaning 3 molecules of iodine. Reverse T3 is the thyroid that does not get used and goes back to the gland in your near your neck, and that's stored as T4 again. All right, we check for all that stuff. Here's the big one: insulin. Doctors don't test for insulin. Number one, I don't think they know what it does. Insulin makes things grow. It also carries bonds to a glucose molecule. It goes to a muscle cell. When it goes to a muscle cell, it knocks on the door. The receptor of that muscle says either come in or no, we don't need you. So if you don't come in, because muscle loves sugar, so if you don't get that glycogen or that glucose at this point into that receptor to the muscle to make glycogen, to hold it there for when you need it for exercise or to get away from a tiger, that's your muscles are the biggest bang for the buck as far as losing fat. It also is the biggest storage bed in your body is your muscles. Okay, so again, that's why weight training is so important, because it cleans up the sugar in your blood by breaking down the sugar in your muscle. Then more sugar can go into that muscle, cleans up your blood. Now you're a fat burning machine rather than a sugar burning machine. It's real simple, but we need a blood test, or most of the times we need a blood test. All right, especially if you're very heavy, we want to see. Not only that, after 3 months, we can do another blood test and then find, then you can actually see not only in your clothes, on the scale, but it also gives you another measurement that things are happening. We do triglycerides, all your cholesterol markers. C-reactive protein, here's another big one. This is a marker for inflammation. And today's food is so polluted with byproducts and impurities, and to make the shelf life of food greater, that the food industry really doesn't care about your health. I hate to say it. What they care about is how long to keep those Cheerios up on the shelf. Okay? And then we do your liver function, kidney function, all the stuff that you would normally see in a blood test, blood chemistry. Vitamin D, how important is that? Wow. Well, if you're getting sick a lot, vitamin D is very important, because that is a big contributor, of your immune system. Vitamin D is actually not a vitamin, it's a hormone. Back in the 70s, they didn't know where to place it, so they called it a vitamin. So vitamin D, if your vitamin D is low, you're going to be sluggish, you can be tired. All these things, if they're not in the optimal range, you're going to be tired. Also, when you look at a blood test, you look at a regular physician's blood test, you'll look at the ranges. We got to remember where those ranges come from. They come from sick people. Okay, so those ranges we try to optimize your condition to get you to your fitness goals. rather than just say, okay, well, you're in between here, you're okay. Well, no, you're not okay. You should be optimized. For men, it's PSA, and that's your prostate. So we want to take a look at that. And right now, for the month of September, I'm running a special, and that special is just the blood test alone. Okay, and my interpretation of that and review with you as a client of mine, and then at that point we can decide which way you want to go with it. Do you want to go with the bioidentical hormones, which are actually hormones that are what your body produces naturally? Okay, it's not approved by the FDA. The reason is that they can't duplicate or clone bioidenticals. It's natural. Actually, testosterone comes from yams, so a plant. Okay, so they can't reproduce that. If they can't reproduce it, clone it, copy it, patent it, control it, then they won't approve it. Excuse me. So anyway, it's just, we're just replacing what Mother Nature's taking it away. And let me tell you guys, and women, you need testosterone. Okay, you'll feel a heck of a lot better. You won't be so sluggish, and it makes you feel like you were when you're a teenager. Does it cause cancer? No. How many 17-year-olds do you know that have cancer? That's when your hormones are at their greatest, is 17 to 25, okay? We can also test for growth hormone too as well, okay? Anyway, I just want to say one more time that the month of September, I'm running a special on just the blood test without the physicians involved. If you want to take this to your own doctor after we go over it, that's great, fine. If you want to take it to one of my doctors that are certified, qualified in bioidentical hormone replacement, we can take that route too. But at least you'll know where you are. This is not like I said, this is not like your annual blood test that you get at the doctor's office and you have somebody call you up from the front desk and say, doctor says you're good, or doctor says you got to watch what you eat, doctor says you got to exercise more. Okay, that's bull. That's not going to help you. Has it helped you yet? Okay, because if it has, turn me off. If it hasn't, come see me. RayBessette.com. Ray at RayBessette.com. If you want to send me an email, I'll get you scheduled for a free consultation. This blood test again was $1,700 that I went to Quest Labs, and $1,700. I can get it done for $498. This won't last long. September is the only time you got to do it. Do this for yourself. The kids are back in school. Vacations are over. Get in contact with me.